Hello, I'm Richy. This is a Wolverine MTW and you're watching the Team Punisher Airsoft UK channel. Let's have a talk about HPA. Okay, so I bought this from High Pressure Airsoft in the UK. Do check out their website, and if you want some advice and guidance of how to get into Airsoft, what kit you need to use, just ask. I found they're really helpful. Now, this is a really exciting gun if you start doing some research onto it and look at all the reviews. You've got the makers and the owners of the gun giving a lot of detail on this. You'll find this is supposed to be an amazing bit of kit, and I really wanted to do an exciting unboxing video on this, and that just wasn't possible, and I'll tell you why. So the reason why I don't want to do an unboxing video on the Wolverine MTW is it's boring. Honestly, you go to sleep. This is a Scorpion Evo HPA edition. It comes in a really nice little designer box. It tells you exactly what it is. If you open it up, you'll find it's got a manual. It's in a plastic bag. It's magazines in there. If you take it out, inside are all the sights and bits and bobs of information. There's actually a really nice printed guide on how it works, all in the box, and it's quite a nice packet. However, this is the limited edition Crytek Chris Vector. You unbox this, it's going to be exciting. There's a limited edition certificate in there. It's got a piece of foam in there. It's designer cut out to fit the gun in really nicely. The magazine's in there. It's got a manual for £600. That looks like a quality gun to me. Let's have a look at the MTW. So, £600 gun. Did it come in a hard case? No. Okay, so when you open this, it's all going to be designer cut out foam or lovely manuals and inserts and so on. We've got Wolverine on the outside. We've got a picture diagram cut out of all the different accessories and parts. We've got the Wolverine logo. On my box, it kind of gives you what upgrade bits or what bits you've built onto it. There's a lot of kind of the word standard on there. Standard for £600. But you open it up, and there's nothing inside this gun at all. Literally, the gun and the magazine was zip tied to a piece of cardboard, and it didn't have a manual. It has a little piece of card. So the marketing department at Wolverine, get your act together, talk to the packaging department. If you're selling something for $500 or $600, it's an overall experience. It's not just how good the gun is. Make the packaging look nice. It's boring. So this is it. Hollow cardboard box, zip tied gun, zip tied magazine, and a couple of patches chucked in. There's a High Pressure Airsoft patch. Thanks for that. I'm going to wear that. Okay, so rant over. Let's talk seriously about the gun. Now, the statistics on this are really, really good. The build quality is supposed to be really good. And if you're going to spend a lot of money trying to convert your AEG into an HPA gun, you might want to think twice and start looking at the options you've got with this. Now, there's a lot of kind of technical data and specifications about this gun, and I'm going to kind of crib a bit, and you can go and check out the facts on different websites and on YouTube. But this is one of 3 main versions that High Pressure Airsoft do in the UK. So let's start talking about it. Now, it's supposed to be an AR-15 style gun. There are 3 main sizes you can talk about. So there's a carbine version, which is a 14.5 inch barrel with a 13-inch M-lock style rail. There's this one, which is the SBR. This is a 10.3 barrel with a 10-inch M-lock rail. And then there's a CQB version, which I was trying to get away from, have something a little bit longer, and that's supposed to be a 7-inch barrel and a 6-inch M-lock rail. There are 3 different stocks available on this, so this is just the standard M4 style stock on a normal buffer tube, but you can also have a Wraith CO2 stock, and there's what's called the Aero stock, and that's where you're actually having a bottle fed system rather than an HPA line coming into the pistol grip. Now, it's supposed to be compatible with real steel parts, so you can change the stock, the buffer tube, the trigger guard, you can change the pistol grip, you can put different rails onto it, all kinds of things, different takedown pins that are on the gun. You can use real ones if you want to. There's a whole range of options of building the gun. So how long do you want it? How do you want it being fed air? You can also even get a waterproof electronics kit. I don't actually swim through a lot of lakes and rivers and stuff when I'm airsofting, but hey, if it rains a lot where you are, maybe that's an option. Now, operations wise, inside the gun, what physically makes this is Wolverine's legendary HPA engine. Now, the operating pressures are anything from 60 to 140 psi. The rate of fire is anything from 15 to 35 bb's per second, if you like. Energy wise, it's 0.8 to 2 joules, which is quite high for some countries. Magazines wise, these fit really well. One of the problems I've had recently, every gun that I bought, the magazines all rattle around. This fits brilliantly, and this is a 120 bb mid cap. They say any other standard M4 AR-15 magazine fits, and so far different ones I've tried are all fitting quite well, which makes a change. It does have an empty magazine detection system in it, so if you're using Wolverine's own magazines, when it's empty it will tell you, and you kind of go through the process of properly changing a magazine. Now, it doesn't have the kind of AEG style MOSFET. It's got an HPA version of that, and it's programmable, and there's different ways of doing this. The main way, you're changing the functions on this gun through the trigger, and one of the nice things about it is you can have lots of different options of what fire modes you want running off your fire selector. So I'm just going to make sure I get these right. You can have safe, semi and fully automatic, like a normal gun. You can have safe, semi and 3-round burst is the next option. There are 5 options altogether. You can have safe, semi and 2-round burst in that order. Safe, semi, semi, I don't know if that's a mistake. And you can also have safe, 2-round burst and fully automatic, which is probably one I'd choose. So 5 different options there on your fire selector, programmable from your trigger. Okay, so to start programming the gun for things like rate of fire, you actually set the fire selector to semi. You'd then plug the battery in, and by releasing the trigger you can then set your settings. If you want to set your burst settings, it's done a little bit differently. Again, you set to semi, you hold down the trigger, you count, you wait for 5 seconds, and then this will move the gun through the next settings. And as we said, you've got 5 different settings for your burst functions. Now, I found setting the gun up was really well explained on the Wolverine website. You just pick on the gun version that you've got, and it's got a little owner's manual. You go into that, and there's a file there. We'll just talk you through all the different settings, so do check that out. Now, if we're looking at what FPS the gun is, that's entirely up to you, and that's based on how much pressure you're putting through into the gun. So let's just connect this up to the bottle and have a look, see how that's set up. Great thing about buying a pre-built HPA rifle is everything's been done for you. Now, we've got the line with a QD connection coming out the bottom of the pistol grip. All we have to do is plug that into our line. That then plugs into our valve, and that's plugged into our bottle. So the main things you're going to need to buy other than the rifle is your bottle, valve and your line, and these come in a choice of colours. Okay, so once we've got this connected, we're just ready to go and play. So let's give this a shoot and see how it comes out. So let's give this thing a shoot. In the unboxing, one of the things we didn't say was everything's pretty standard out the package, pretty basic, didn't come with any sights. So these are off a different gun. Didn't come with any additional rail, so you're either buying your own M-lock attachments or you're going to have to add some rail to add your pre-existing attachments on. Supposed to fit any magazine pretty much, so this is an Angel Custom Electric drum mag. That's going to be fun, bit of a support weapon hopefully. We've got it set to 100 psi just to see how it works. That's the recommended settings out the box. You do need a battery, so you need a very small 7.4 LiPo battery on this. Okay, now we've got a little target set up. Ooh. The hop's nice out of the box. You can add an aftermarket hop, but one of the things about this gun is, because it's a pre-built HPA gun, everything's aligned inside supposedly perfectly every time by the factory, rather than you trying to put a Wolverine system into an existing AEG and having to convert everything and play around with it to make it fit. Okay, let's just check the pressure. Yeah, we're still there. So let's put it on fully automatic. Oh, that was a crack, wasn't it? Wow. I can see those BBs flying out to the target through here and looking down the sights through the flash hider, which didn't come with the gun. It's an aftermarket one again. Came with an orange hider. Gosh, that's quick. Wow, that's not bad. That's a support weapon. Gosh, get this in a wood. I think this is going to be epic. Wow, I'm really impressed with the rate of fire on this. So, playing around in a minute with the different burst functions, I think this is going to be a lot of fun. Get it on 2-round burst, 3-round burst, indoors. This is going to be a crazy gun as well. And it's very small and very light in comparison to, say, a G&G ARP 556. It's actually probably lighter than that. So thanks for watching. Do subscribe. And if you like this, do please share it with your friends. And have a look at a few of my other HPA videos if you're interested. Thanks for watching. Take care. So, bit of a blooper. These are the cans, or a couple of the cans I was just shooting at, and on full auto it absolutely destroyed them. I mean, wow, I wouldn't want to get shot by that.